Like last time?
Like last time, it was like, and I'm deaf.
It was all the way up.
All the way. Dun, 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 dun. Epic fade out.
Yay.
Hello and welcome to Entertain This, a podcast about movies, TV shows, and video games. I'm your host, Tom, and with me I have my cohort, Mitch. Mitch, say hi to the audience.
Good morning with fair weather today. The morning show.
Welcome to the morning show edition because we're filming this at the ass crack of dawn, and I haven't been up this early in the morning sober in years. But it's a special occasion. It is episode 30. With our live studio audience. First time. Unfortunately, Hayden can't be here because he has other crap to do and he couldn't be bothered. So we're rolling with the 2 minute a podcast format, which I know all of you enjoy far more than when Hayden sits here and condescends to everybody.
Once again.
Now, Hayden did get punished last episode, but he's not here today, so we can't do his punishment review because he has to watch Power Rangers Turbo, the movie, which, as we all know, was the worst of the Power Ranger films.
And we might as well go ahead and get it out of the way. Just since he's not here and he doesn't like Power Rangers, we're just going to double it up. He's going to watch the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
He's watching both.
Yeah,
he's watching both.
He's going to watch them both before next episode. So.
Which, to us, wouldn't even be a punishment, especially if it was the first one. Me and you would both be like, well, I mean, I've seen it like 100 times, so I don't even have to rewatch it, but I will, just because it's that good.
We just figure we'd go ahead and throw that in there since he's getting punished. He's not here. He's getting punished, so let's double it up.
The dangerous precedent set. If you are not here for the show, just assume you're going to be punished with something stupid. Also, since he's not here, we're not going to be using Da Bomb because he's not here to enforce it.
It's too early for that.
And it's way too early for heartburn, indigestion, and your butthole becoming the sphincter of Satan's. We do not have time for this. Now, I would like to take this time to plug our many mediums of social media, starting with Twitch, which you can find at entertain_this, no exclamation point, because it wouldn't let me. We're also on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon,
and Instagram.
Which normally you plug, but somebody forgot their notebook, and he can't do it from memory, even though we've been doing this 30 times. 30 times we've done this, and he still cannot remember it without having to read it off a piece of paper.
I know Patreon is patreon.com/entertain_this.
All right, that's one. You got like, what, 5 more to go?
I think Instagram is @this.entertain.
That's 2.
Twitter is @entertain.this.
Okay.
Facebook it's just Entertain This Facebook podcast.
This group.
Entertain This podcast on Facebook.
Yes.
And then our page is just Entertain This. And if those are wrong, I'm sure you'll be able to find.
And we have a secret
somewhere.
Reddit thread called Go Entertain Yourself, which is just articles, and you have to read them because we're not going to do the work for you.
It's on the dark web. You have to find it.
It's on the dark web.
So good
Also,
luck.
check out our ads for fake IDs, whatever you need in your upcoming adventures or ventures, minus the A and the D. So, I like to kick it off with video game stuff. Now, I got back playing into Switch. There's a couple games that are on there that are free that you can download. One is Tetris 99, which I played. There's no tutorial. I know how Tetris is played. It does not tell you any of the controls. And it's like versus matchmaking in Tetris, which I didn't know was possible. So the screen pops up, and there's your normal Tetris stuff. And then there's like all these little cards on the side. And you can control these little things going around doing this as if it's not already difficult to do that while trying to play Tetris at the same time. I don't know I literally was watching my screen on my Switch, flashing lights and colors. I'm trying to play Tetris and I'm losing. And I'm putting the stuff where it's supposed to go, but I don't know what the other person is doing with this stupid crap. Everything's flying around. And I'm like, just watch, and I just turned it off. So, I mean, it's free if you want to try it. Also, the Nintendo store has the Super Nintendo games that were on the re-released mini console, that had like 30 something or 20 something games
Cool.
pre-plugged on it, and then the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo Classic were the two
Yeah.
that got released. So both of those, all the games are free to download on the Nintendo Store, which you can play on Switch. I played through a couple. I played Tecmo Bowl. I did play the LA Raiders, which we all know is a form of honor code. When you played Tecmo Bowl, no one's allowed to play as the Raiders because you can't stop Bo Jackson. He'll shed every single tackle, and no one's fast enough to catch him.
Huh. I did not know that. I've never played Tecmo Bowl.
Well, you can. It's free.
I had to find my Switch.
Well, find your Switch and then play Tecmo Bowl.
It's
I played OG Star Fox, some of the racing games. What else was that? Pretty much every game that came out, if you bought that mini console, it's now on Switch for free, and you should feel foolish for spending money on that mini console. Pez. There was something Hayden wanted me to bring up about it. I know Super Mario is coming to Switch, remastered like the Nintendo version.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of ones that were getting mastered that you can play on there. He sent me a link to an article. I can't find it, so I'm not going to bring it up. Also, in some other video game news, the Xbox Series S was announced, which is a price tag about $300.
Yeah.
Was this one that would it be able to stream in 4K?
It says it can do 4K, but I think it's limited to like 60 frames per second as opposed to the other one.
Which is 120 frames per second.
Yes. And it's like
It
half
doesn't
the
have
memory of the.
Yeah, it's like a 500 gigabyte console. Does not have a disk drive.
Right. It'll be all downloaded. Whereas the
Series X.
The $500 or $600 version, Series X, will be 120 frames per second. It'll be a 1 terabyte hard drive. It'll have a disk drive, and I want to say it's got. I don't know what the processing power and all that mean, like the actual numbers were.
Yeah.
But I want to say it's supposed to be almost double for the X from what the S is also.
So for casual gamers, I mean, I guess that's what the S is targeted towards.
Yeah, kind of. The article that I read said that they wanted to put this out that way. People that buy a PS4 could still go and buy an S, and it would take away from PS4 playtime, just for
I mean, it's like the Xbox Arcade.
Yeah,
it's like for smaller kids, I guess, who don't need that much processing power in a console now.
Yeah.
Or your parents who are not going to spend that much money. We know who you are because my parents would not spend that kind of money on a console, even if that was the only thing I asked for and was like, here's an agreement. You don't have to buy me anything for 5 years. I just want this. They go, yeah, no, it's not happening. Get a job.
Yeah.
Which now that we're adults, we do have jobs, and we're going to buy the new one, the Series X. We're not buying the S.
Yes.
But I mean, I guess it's targeted towards.
I want the power.
I want the power of the rectangular box. I want the power of the box. So that's coming out allegedly at the same time as the Series X. There's still no definitive release date yet, so pre-orders can't happen yet. But once they do, I'm definitely pre-ordering it.
I mean, supposedly it's supposed to come out in November, but they have, like you said, they haven't set a date yet for anything. I know from what they said, it's supposed to release the same time as the new Call of Duty, which is supposed to be like the beginning of November. So I would imagine the Xbox would have released around that time as well. But
Probably
we'll have to see.
Hopefully before, because last time when the Xbox One came out and the PS4 came out, those dropped a week after the new Call of Duty, which at that time was Ghosts. I had Ghosts for a week but couldn't play it. I memorized like everything on like the sleeve for the game because I would just sit there and read it and go, one day I'll get to play this, and it's like maybe tomorrow. Next day. I still got 4 days to go. So that's also a bit of gaming consumer news. Those items will be coming out at the end of the towards the end of the year.
Yeah, the PS4 is supposed to be it's close to the Series X as far as like processing power and
I know one
speed
person who's going to buy it.
But I want to say that they're slightly under the I guess
everything I looked at
specifics.
stat wise, comparing the Series X versus the PS5, the Xbox Series X wins in like every category.
Yeah, from what
some I think are just so marginal it doesn't like you'll never notice.
Yeah,
but like in other ones, it's like it's dominant.
Well, I know like the memory for the PS5 is about just a little bit bigger than what the Series S will be.
So you wouldn't even be able to play Warzone. You wouldn't be able to have the new Call of Duty, is what you're telling me. Because
You mean
500 gigabytes is not going to take that game.
the 500 gigabytes it takes for one game. Yeah, probably pretty much.
Warzone news, because Hayden's not here to stop us talking about Warzone either. The R9-0, the double barrel pump shotgun, the one that nobody uses because it's a hunk of crap. Guess what? Dragon's Breath. It is a monster. Even in Warzone, which even at distance, from about a solid 10-meter distance, both barrels will deplate and down somebody because of the residual fire damage.
So what you're saying is you need to fight from a long distance now.
Well, I'm saying if you're playing, and a team rushes in, be prepared that one of them might have it because it's a pretty easy unlock. It was bugged. I think they did fix it. All you have to do is get 10 sliding kills with a shotgun. Doesn't matter which shotgun or with that shotgun. Shoot the ship is still on there. So just getting a couple of shipment games, you can knock it all out in one game if you're good.
Huh.
It doesn't have to be, you have to do it 10 times in 10 different games or 1 in 10 games or whatever. It's just get 10 of them. Doesn't matter how you do it.
Well, while we're on games, we can talk about. Have you seen the new Call of Duty multiplayer for?
I was about to bring it up. I did.
Yeah,
Black Ops.
And they have like water warfare and all sorts of stuff.
It definitely looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. I mean, watching the gameplay, I know it's alpha gameplay or beta. It's in alpha stage, whatever they call it.
Yeah, I think if you pre-order, you get like the beta starting in October.
Because I watched a gameplay from a couple different streamers like Jack Frags, Stone Mountain, Stoda. They were playing it, and it looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how all this is going to work because supposedly it's supposed to work alongside Warzone, as far as like being able to continue Warzone as like its thing. It'll just incorporate this new game.
Yeah,
but like the new game, it shows people be able to play underwater and stuff like they're diving into the water to get onto this ship and all this other stuff. And if you touch water in Warzone right now, you die.
Yeah, it's like old Assassin's Creed. It's like can't swim.
Yeah.
I mean, with all that gear you're carrying, there's no possible way.
But it was interesting. I mean, it's along the lines of the type of Call of Duties that I like, which is the more realistic versions, as far as like the guns and everything, no lasers running along the walls.
I mean, Warzone didn't have that.
Right. I'm just saying that this next Call of Duty it's still along those lines, because
Modern Warfare,
Black Ops has been, other than the very first one, slowly progressing to further and further and like super space battle kind of stuff.
Black Ops was the first series that really did that.
Yeah.
Because Black Ops 1 obviously set during the Vietnam War and after, or before, during, I think a little bit after. And then Black Ops 2 was in the future, which, I mean, there wasn't really any of that jetpack crap. I mean, there was drones and stuff, but like that's one. Like, normal stuff now.
Yeah.
And then Black Ops 3 and 4 was like, what is this?
Well, three wasn't too bad. Oh no, wait, I'm thinking of Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, Black Ops 3 was pretty bad.
Yeah, Black Ops 3 and 4, horrible. Advanced Warfare, garbage. And then that nonsense that was Infinite Warfare. That game, like that came out the same time as Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yeah.
The original Call of Duty 4. And like it was like, oh yeah, if you buy Modern Warfare, you get an Infinite Warfare, and people would just never downloaded it, or they just wouldn't even open the game.
Yeah.
Like, no, I came here for Modern Warfare.
I played Infinite Warfare, like the campaign, almost all the way through, and then once I started getting some friends that bought it, we all just played the remastered Call of Duty.
It was just so much better. But I think that should wrap up on game news. That was a bunch of stuff. I mean, we try not to get bogged down with Call of Duty, even though it's the only thing we play.
Well, the new Black Ops, real quick, they do have zombies coming back,
which I'm very excited about.
And it seemed a little more like a horror style than your typical just wave after wave of zombies. Because you see him walking in with his flashlight. You don't see anything. He's waving around. He looks down, and there's just this whole pit of zombies. So maybe
that's horrifying.
Maybe it'll work more towards the horror of.
I hope they do Warzone zombies.
That would be fun.
Because there was a gameplay like that for PUBG. PUBG Zombies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was tough.
I never played that one.
Check that out too. That's on there somewhere, I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe.
Possibly.
Allegedly.
I haven't played PUBG since Warzone come out.
No, I think every single Battle Royale kind of lost a lot of membership once Warzone hit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is pretty good. Except unless you get, railed by somebody with the double barrel pump Dragon's Breath shotgun at point blank and you're melting him in the face with the Rennick.
Yeah. It's happened to me a couple times.
So once the new streaming stuff or the new consoles drop and the new Call of Duty drops, I say we probably fire back up on the Twitch and start streaming that because I mean a lot of people are going to want to see it. Because not everybody's not financially off to just buy this new stuff right off the rip.
I agree.
So instead of watching on YouTube, you can watch us on Twitch TV, and then get really upset when you watch certain people play a certain play style, and you're just going to sit there and pull your hair out and scream, and then you're just going to cut back to a different player and go, okay, this guy knows what he's trying to do.
I'm a survivor.
You're a camper. You're a camper. You pretend to be shrubbery. You pretend to be a set piece.
It works.
It doesn't work.
When I'm by myself, it works.
It doesn't work.
It gets me to the end.
Shut up. It does not.
It gets me to top 10 at least.
You see what I have to deal with? I hate it. I hate it so much. Dead Space.
Anyways, we're going to go on to
TV show reviews.
TV show? Yeah, I was thinking it's like TV show. Movie,
This is a TV show, right?
Yes, it is.
What show did you watch?
A show that I'm surprised you have not seen, The Boys.
Well, it popped up on my Amazon Prime, like, hey, it's free, you should watch this. And I was like, okay, and I went to Rick and Morty.
Well, The Boys has started with season 2. And it comes out every Friday, so we're recording today. The new episode comes out.
What's the premise of the show? Because I kind of forgot.
Think of the Justice League without morals. So they're just regular people.
So it's like the Watchmen, minus Dr. Manhattan, basically being the trump card to anything and everything.
Kinda, yeah. They're the heroes in this are like publicized as like, oh yeah, they're great, they're good. They get paid by this company to be good guys and be like the face of like Nike or Gatorade or whatever.
So it's really just like a modern take on what superheroes really would be.
Yeah.
In right now society.
Right. But not all of them are the best moral compass kind of people. They have their stuff and oh yeah, they're the good guy. But like there's one in the first season where he's like, all right, we're here to save the plane, and then they look and they realize
plane already crashed.
There's nothing. There's like we can't save all these people, and they're like, well, why don't you just lift the plane? He's like, do you understand the physics? If I pick it up, the wings just fall off. It's like I can't lift the entire plane. So basically, they just abandoned the people in the plane and then just pretend like it blew up before they got there.
Oh.
Because nobody else knew it. So he just, the guy that's like Superman-esque level, which he's not really that good, blows up the plane and just says it blew up before he got there.
Wow.
Even though he was literally he ripped the door off, was on the plane talking to the people inside and realized that he wasn't going to be able to save them. So him and the Wonder Woman kind of girl just left. They just booked it.
They were just like, all right, guys, deuces. Good
Yeah,
luck.
pretty much.
Remember, you put your tray table up and you're sitting in the upright position?
He flies out. And I think he like shoots the engine, and he just watches it fall into the water. Yeah.
What a douche.
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
So he's a bad guy who's just getting paid to be good, but he really just doesn't care.
Right. Like, I mean, nobody knew that this happened. As far as the news people and stuff, they think that the plane was crashed before they ever got there.
Okay.
The two people that that went to rescue, which is Homelander, and let's see, what's the Queen Maeve, which is she's like Wonder Woman.
Okay.
They're the only two that know the official story because they're the only two that were there that actually saw what happened.
And we're just like, Dad, we're just gonna let all these people die. There's no way we can pull this off.
Right. So
it's like, if we can't save everybody, not gonna try to save some.
But yeah, that was season 1. So, at the end of season 1, basically Homelander, you find out he
works for Hydra.
Well, him and Carl Urban's character, which is Billy Butcher, which he's this like kind of Cockney accent British assassin kind of guy that worked for the CIA or along those lines, CIA or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Homelander got with his wife one night when she was drunk or forced himself upon her, and now they have a kid. Well, he's not, or Billy Butcher, which is Carl Urban, is not exactly happy about that. But they've come to an understanding that because he kills a person that's of very significant importance. Homelander does, and they kind of reconcile that one won't tell if the other one doesn't tell that he has a kid. So that's kind of where the story picks up. But it's pretty good. You have some characters like there's an Aquaman esque character, which is he's called the Deep, where he can.
They're really stretching with these names. Huh?
Yeah, I mean he can talk to.
I see one's called Mother's Milk.
Yeah, that's his code name.
Ugh.
But there's nothing about him. Like he's just a normal like assassin kind of guy. His code name is just Mother's Milk.
That sucks. Like, I'm sorry, Laz Alonso, that you have a crappy nickname as a superhero or as a hero in some sort of superhero themed television show.
But like, I'll go ahead and explain this part that I saw. Like, it's in one of the commercials, but basically, the Deep in the first season gets kicked out of the Justice League esque. Which they're called the Seven. Well, he gets kicked out because he's kind of a jerk and a womanizer, and he's trying to work his way back in. He wants to be part of the Seven again, so he's trying.
So are they now called the Six?
No, they found somebody to replace him.
Oh, okay.
But he's trying to get his way back in, and he's trying to catch Billy Butcher, Mother's Milk. Let's see, Huey Campbell, which is Jack Quaid. He's trying to catch them while they're on a boat trying to get to land, and he's got all these like sharks and dolphins. He's got like a blue whale and stuff trying to chase them down. Well, he thinks he's just going to block the land from them being able to get the boat back. And well, Billy Butcher just throttles it forwards and basically just spears the whale with the boat. And then they get up and they're like inside the whale.
It's like
literally, it's blood dripping down everywhere. In the Deep, because he's not necessarily a bad guy. He's just morally not the best. He's just kind of a jerk, and he's just kind of like
he's a douche with powers.
Yeah,
with Aquaman powers.
He's just kind of traumatized that they just speared this big whale. He's like, they killed like Lucille or whatever her name is. He's like, why would they do that?
Like he just doesn't get it. Like why would they kill the whale?
Yeah, but it's pretty good. There's a lot of I don't want to say plot twist because as you're watching, you see
I have to watch this show.
You see this stuff coming.
I just want to see a speedboat with Carl Urban and it spear a whale.
Well, I mean, they have several characters that are pretty cool. Like you got A-Train, which he's kind of like the Flash. Let's see, Queen Maeve, which she's like Wonder Woman. Let's see, you got Black Noir, which he's kind of like a Batman.
Noir.
Or, yeah, he's kind of like a Batman-esque character.
Okay.
Let's see, what's another one? Oh, the Stormfront. She's the new like person in the Seven in the second season, which essentially
I bet she can control weather.
Well, so far, like I mean, maybe she can, but
she made it lightly drizzle.
So far, she's shown that she can fly and she can shoot lightning. So I don't know.
That's cool.
I don't know how much storm
flying and shooting lightning are solid superpowers.
But there's several characters and.
Is it Simon Pegg?
Yes, he is Jet Quaid's dad in this, which is.
Oh, he doesn't have any powers?
No.
Aww.
Huey Campbell, which he's one of the main characters. Like, if you watch the first season, in the opening credits, A-Train is trying to stop, and he runs and literally vaporizes his Huey's girlfriend while he's holding her hands because he doesn't slow down in time. And he just, like, literally runs through her. And in slow motion, you just see bones and blood and bits and stuff floating through the air. And he's just left holding her hands.
That's traumatizing.
And that's how the whole show opens up in the first season.
Was A-Train like, my bad?
He was like, oh, man. Whew, them rubbers almost got away. Well, see you later. Takes off. And Huey's just standing there traumatized like, what the and the whole thing picks up from there where basically these, Billy Butcher and Huey Campbell are which is Carl Urban and Jack Quaid, are trying to take down the Seven, so to speak. And you come to find out there's other things throughout the series that are come into play, like how these characters come to be, and how these people get superpowers. How are they born with them? Are they made? Everything among that.
Okay.
And I know for season 3, which hasn't come out, but they've already announced that Jensen Ackles will be playing a character called Soldier Boy, which is kind of like a Captain America-esque character.
Oh, I was thinking the rapper.
No, he, from what I understand, from what they've talked about so far, he's from World War II.
And he's still alive.
Yes.
They're just ripping everything.
yeah.
This is a spoof on, the Avengers and Marvel and DC and Justice League.
I forget the girl's name, but there's a girl in here that can't speak. She's like, she's of Asian descent. I don't know, exactly from where, but she's kind of like Wolverine. Like anything, she gets hurt or whatever, she just heals.
Instant or near instant.
Yeah, near instant. I mean, she doesn't have like claws or anything like that. I mean, she's really good at fighting.
That would be stretching it.
Yeah.
If they're just like, oh, look at this not Wolverine looking person.
Now, in the first season, they did have one character. Her name was Pop Claw, which she had like 2 claws that came out the top and one that come out of her wrist. So she had like these 3 little claws. Yeah. Well, she's not in season 2.
Spoiler? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's dead.
She's not a main character though, so oh well.
Not important.
But it's a great show. It's especially if you like anything superheroes, it's fun to watch because it's pretty funny too.
I might give this a whirl.
It's the satire of
The satire.
of everything going on is pretty good.
Satire. All right, I might watch it. Did you watch anything else?
I watched Raised by Wolves, which is a new HBO Max.
And it's false advertising from what we talked, because we talked about this a couple episodes ago.
Yes,
There's an upcoming show. Upcoming show. Raised by wolves, not raised by actual wolves, robots.
Androids.
Same thing.
Well,
No, I'm sure Hayden would disagree with that, but technological beings raising people.
And this show, it's not bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of confusing. Like, I've been watching. They had the first 3 episodes, which came out last week, and then yesterday there's a 4th episode that I haven't watched yet.
Mm-hmm.
But in the first 3 episodes that I watched, I don't know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy yet.
Are there wolves in it at all?
No, not,
I'm not
at least
watching
not. At least not so far.
Not watching it.
But you have the androids, which are raising these kids. You have this like religious zealot group that's out there, and then you have these 2 mercenaries whose story they follow that are like incorporated all 3 of these together, and they all do some good stuff and some bad stuff, and you just don't know who to actually root for yet. And it's been 3 episodes.
I don't know who's bad. I don't know who's good. There's no real wolves. I'm not watching it.
Now, the 2 androids are called Mother and Father.
How apropos.
Mother is a necromancer android that was
Okay.
that was reprogrammed to be caring, and she kind of is until you piss her off.
And then she like rips your soul out or something.
Well, she does this thing where like basically she's bulletproof. Because of her eye, the android's eyes that she has, that has something to do with she turns into like this golden thing, and she's like got her arms outstretched, feet down, and she starts flying, and she does like this echo kind of
Screech.
screech thing that
Yeah.
vaporizes people or melts their face or
That's
whatever.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying though.
Yeah. Let me know when there's real wolves on the show, and then I might watch it.
There's some kind of creature that's like a wolf, except for it's half humanoid, kind of wolfish. I don't know.
Is it a werewolf?
No, it's
Not
not.
watching it then. Sounds stupid. Sounds dumb. Moving on.
But it's a good. I mean, it's a good show. It's just kind of confusing. I don't know who to pull for yet. I don't know, who's the good guy, who's the bad. The only one that seems.
Why are you slamming the mic?
I'm sorry.
You're just going like
Because I'm thinking.
that. This is what you do when you think. You just go. Bitch, smack.
I gotta beat stuff. Yeah. But it's got the guy Marcus, which is Travis Fimmel, which he was the main character.
Great grandson of Nicholas Flamel from the Sorcerer's Stone.
Well, he was from Vikings. He was like the main guy in Vikings before they killed him off.
Yeah. Spoilers, McGee at it again.
Dude, he's been dead for like 5 seasons in Vikings.
I haven't watched the show, and now what's the point?
Well, it was big news. He was like the first time that they killed off a main character, like the main character for a TV show.
All right, look, Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead exist before this crap. So
No.
the killing of main characters has well been established.
No, Vikings did that first. Like as far as like that'd be like them killing off Rick Grimes in season 3.
I would kill them in the first episode.
That's
Maybe
what Vikings
episode
did.
2.
But anyways,
Coral.
he's like the main, like the mercenary guy.
Does there have to be a mercenary kind of guy in all these freaking shows now?
But see, he's not so much
Some sort of shady background guy.
I don't really know. Like, you don't really know anything about him yet. You just know that
He's a shadowy figure
yeah. I mean, pretty much.
of moral ambiguity.
There's him and his wife, and then you don't really know anything about them other than what you see on the film. Like they haven't revealed their background. The guy the android that plays father is the only one that has so far been morally good throughout the entire thing. Now he'll get angry or something like that, but overall he's a very caring person, and he's probably the most likable character at the moment.
Yeah, you're losing me on this show. I might watch The Boys. I'm not watching this.
Well,
False advertising in the title.
This the judgment is still out. So it's piqued my interest enough to where I want to keep watching it to see where it goes. But
I'm not watching it. You can watch it and talk about it.
I mean, the whole premise behind the show is the humans are going extinct, and these androids were sent off with embryos to try and keep the population
alive.
Well, the religious sect believes that androids raising children is wrong, so they go into like hypersleep, wake up a few thousand, maybe it's a few hundred years in the future,
Okay.
and they're raising. They think that humans should raise humans, and this other sect said the androids. So they're not in agreement with each other. And
Well, of course not. If everybody agreed, this wouldn't be a show.
well, and then like the religious sect wants to destroy the androids and take the children to raise on their own. The androids think that they're going to defend whatever they have to with their lives, but it's interesting.
If you say so. If you say so.
I think you would find it interesting if you watched it,
Got
but
it.
that's neither here nor there. So we could move on to movies now.
Well, there's a bit of upcoming news. That Game
okay.
of Thrones
Oh yeah.
was like the House of the Dragon or something like that.
Yeah.
They just showed the House Targaryen, the three-headed dragon.
And
Well,
while Game of Thrones ended on a sour note, I'd be interested just to watch it.
I'm not watching it. I think Game of Thrones.
Between you and Hayden, y'all are so close-minded.
No, Game of Thrones burned a lot of people with that last season. They torched a lot of casual fans, people who were just watching the show, maybe people who were just starting to get into the books. I mean, I never read any of the books. I was going to. I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to read the books. And then that crap, and I was like, no, not giving you any more of my money or time.
Still giving it a chance.
No. So they're coming out with some new show. I'm guessing about the founding of the Targaryen dynasty. So that's coming out eventually. But I doubt anybody will care. Plus, how long ago did Game of Thrones end?
I don't know. A couple years ago,
Was it like 2 years ago?
maybe 2 now.
2 years ago now, or at least a year.
Yeah, at least
It's
a year.
like it would have been more. It would have been better to release this show
As
during Game of Thrones.
yeah, or
while that was still on,
the prequel series
while
here.
the hype was still going.
It should have gone on in that 2-year span that they were working on season 8.
I don't even care about the prequel show.
But also, I found out for the Justice League Dark. Oh yeah, this TV show for HBO Max is coming out.
Yeah.
They're gonna have Constantine,
Well, naturally,
Zatanna.
good.
So as far as I know, Swamp Thing, Deadman, and Etrigan the Demon. Which those will be.
I like Etrigan the Demon. I want Etrigan the Demon. I want him to have his own show.
well,
Is
those
that
are
Jason Blood.
those are the 5 that'll be like the main characters as far as I know. And supposedly they started casting, and they said they found who's going to be Constantine, but they haven't announced who the actor
I want
is yet.
Keanu Reeves.
It's not Keanu Reeves. It's not Matt Ryan from the DC
Yeah.
CW shows. It's somebody new. But
Okay.
but we'll have to wait and see who they announce as the characters. But
This actually segues nicely into the movie review.
right,
Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
and
Is that what it's called?
yes. But last thing, the the CW, which granted they're not notoriously known for the best of shows, but they're going to have the Swamp Thing show, which was on the DC Universe app. They're going to have the full season of that starting this year. So you'll get a chance to see more about Swamp Thing, his origins.
That'd be interesting because I think a lot of these shows and movies that have been coming out have been like fleshing out. What the hell is my foot? Oh, there's a mic stand underneath it. I keep kicking Hayden's mic.
But the Swamp Thing show, I watched it on the DC Universe app, and I thought it was a pretty good show. And because it was like one of their main shows at the time, it had a pretty good budget. It ended because they lost, I guess, the rights to the town that they were using. The town refused to like renew. To renew for like to let them film for a second season.
Lame.
I don't know why. The show's pretty interesting. It's it doesn't have a whole. It's got, I guess, maybe two guys that are like well-known actors, and the problem is I can't remember what their names are. But one of them's not Denzel Washington, but he's the coach in Remember the Titans. He's David Yost. In Remember the Titans.
That guy. Yeah.
He's the bad guy.
Okay. Well, he played a bad guy in the Punisher movie, the one with Thomas Jane, John Travolta.
Yes. And then it has one of the guys from 90210, the original, like the blonde-haired guy. I can't remember.
Nick Swartzen?
Yes. No.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's him.
The comedian one, the one who's in like the Benchwarmers. And
No.
I was about to say, I don't think it's him.
Not Reno 911. Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, you said the number 9. I was like, Reno 911. I remember seeing a commercial because they're coming back out with Reno 911.
But
more TV news.
But it was interesting. I liked that show when it came out, and I watched it. And it's going to be streaming on the CW this season because there's not a whole lot of content. They bought the rights to that. So. But that's all I got for TV shows.
So on the movies, like I said previously, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. That was a movie that Endgame could have been if Disney didn't own Marvel. I mean, the violence and death, like watching your favorite heroes just getting annihilated and killed. Like what? Starfire got stomped into half. Wonder Woman had her arm ripped off.
Yeah.
Batman brainwashed into becoming a slave for Darkseid.
Zatanna ripped apart.
Zatanna ripped apart.
Hawkman had his wings ripped off,
which looked like it was painful. Nightwing was stabbed through the chest.
I want to say Green Lantern was ripped apart or blown up. I can't remember.
So I think they blew up the power ring, like the planet. They blew up Oa.
Yeah.
And he was trying to use it.
Yeah, as John Stewart like reaching for that last to get like the super ion kind of battery. You just see bones from after it was blown up.
Captain Marvel blew himself up.
Lost a leg,
and then blew himself up and took a bunch of people with him.
Yeah.
Lois Lane dead. Superman injected with kryptonite, like liquid kryptonite.
Yeah.
And has like a S mockingly carved into him by Darkseid, so he can live his mortal life. Batman becomes Lord Batman. Batman, even as a bad guy, is still awesome.
Well, he had the Metron's chair, which gives him all the knowledge of the universe, essentially.
Which is, probably filled like a couple of gaps of stuff he didn't already know.
You're given the one of the most technical,
you're giving the smartest
genius
human, pretty much, in the DC universe,
unlimited
and
knowledge.
Master strategist and tactician and hand-to-hand combatant, all the knowledge.
Yes, pretty much.
It's like the master detective of everything. It's just like, now you know it all. It's just like, wow. It's like Darkseid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know why you kept him around, but you probably should have killed him. Because if he breaks out of the stuff, which he does, you won't be able to stop him.
Yeah. And another thing. I mean, granted, Darkseid isn't so much on killing people as he wants to subject them to his will. He probably should have killed the Flash.
Flash probably should have been number 1 on the needs to die list. Then probably Superman, then Batman.
Instead, they turned Flash into like a generator for the.
He's a hamster wheel. Yeah. They got like Cyborg disassembled on a board who he controls all the mother boxes and boom tubes.
Yeah.
Batman is like the hand of the king, pretty much. He's like super Tywin Lannister.
Yeah.
And he's awesome and gives Lex Luthor the business because he deserves it. But basically, like the movie is, pretty much Darkseid 1.
Yeah.
They try to reverse everything and rescue some of the heroes. Pretty much all of them die.
It starts out with all the heroes going to Apocalypse to have this final battle with Darkseid, and it goes horribly wrong.
Because like all the parademons are merged with like the DNA of Doomsday.
Yes.
So most of them, like who could take on a parademon, maybe one-on-one, are completely outmatched.
Yeah, I mean the way they made it, like the parademons, they're not as durable as Doomsday, but they're supposed to be as strong and as rampaging like. So I mean they can be destroyed, but it takes a little more than you would for a normal
You
parademon.
really have to try.
Yeah.
And like the most like the more powerful heroes can, but you can see like the effort being exerted to try to take them out.
Yeah, and when we say that like the parademons, we mean like a couple thousand.
Yeah.
So
against 20 superheroes.
yeah, so it kind of didn't work.
So
out
basically, like, John Constantine, he's pretty much just like the central guy of this whole movie.
right.
Constantine, he's running around. He's all broken up because he couldn't save Zatanna and he basically just stood there and watched as she got like ripped to pieces.
Yes.
And he's drinking himself to death and just kind of dicking around in a abandoned pub
Yeah.
with Etrigan the demon.
When Superman walks in
and we gotta save everybody, and he's like, who gives a crap? No. And they try to do it anyway, and they win. But like,
spoiler.
yeah, I mean, this movie is I am gonna spoil it, but they do beat Darkseid. They save some of the heroes, especially ones like under his control, like Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But like Wonder Woman had her arm ripped out. She's like half robotic now. Like pretty much all the people who are alive are like severely maimed
Yeah, you had
and messed up.
Wonder Woman, Hawkman, Star Sapphire, and Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Mara, which is Aquaman's wife.
Yeah,
They're all pretty much half cyborg, half what they used to be.
yeah.
So
And then Constantine tells the Flash run really fast and do another Flashpoint and reset. Which basically this was the last movie in the DC, Justice League Dark
yeah, the
universe.
the DC animated like universe.
This is the last movie for that. The Flashpoint has now reset the continuity.
Yeah, and then this reset. I mean, this starts off. So any animated movies from this point off,
It's new canon.
yeah, it's new canon and it's building on a new story. Throughout the end. So
I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought the voice acting was really, really well done. The animation was good. The plot was good. It was really DC does animated really, really well. They can't if this was the the Justice League movies
yeah,
that they released, people would be blown away.
I mean, not to the same extent, but originally this was supposed to be kind of how Zack Snyder's third Justice League movie would have been. Like it was along these lines where he had made the Justice League Part 1, Part 2, and this would have been similar to what his Part 3 from his original script that he had written.
Did they do a second Justice League movie?
Not yet, no.
Is that going to be them against like Darkseid? I'm guessing, or
Well, no, they're not, I mean they're not going to have another Justice League movie right now.
I don't blame them. It was garbage.
But I mean that was his original script. He was going to have Justice League 1, which is where they encounter Steppenwolf and all that, and then it was going to move on to 2, where I think it had 2 and 3, which kind of like along the Star Wars thing, I'll say episode 2.
Episode 2, they get their butts kicked. Everything goes horribly wrong. And then episode 3, they get it together and win. And then, yay.
Yes. It was supposed to be along those lines for the Zack Snyder Justice League, but that all got changed because things happened.
And now Snyder Cut.
Yes. But the animated movie, I mean, all of the DC animated movies have been pretty well done. I mean, there's one or two that are kind of but
Batman is still hilarious in all these movies.
I have to say that I do like the more Batman themed of the animated movies, just because they're more grounded in realism and they're fun to watch. I wish Marvel would take more chances with the animated stuff. They
did do an animated Avengers one that was really good, and at the end they had to fight the Hulk because he went berserk.
Yeah,
and he's basically just beating down every Avenger, and he knocks Thor unconscious. He manages to lift Mjolnir and throw it at Thor.
But those were 17 years ago, because that came out in like 2003, 2004.
Yeah, that was the only good one. That was a good one.
So, I mean, I wish they would do stuff. I mean, they have tons of stories and tons of characters that would be great for an animated that wouldn't work for TV or movies, but I don't know.
I feel like Justice League and like DC focuses on the same kinds of issues. It's either like, the Legion of Doom and Lex Luthor at it again, Brainiac, or Darkseid.
Well,
It's like one of the three.
to me, somebody like the X-Men and stuff, they have so many characters that would be hard to translate onto a live action stuff. That I don't understand why they don't just use more of the animated, output. I mean, because you can
The animated films for DC do really, really well.
yeah. And if you took a more serious tone with like the X-Men
Which you
films,
can.
which
I mean, like the Batman stuff, it always has a more serious tone.
well, to me, one of my favorite series that they made for the X-Men for Marvel, it was called Wolverine and the X-Men, which granted it was still, a kids show,
Yeah.
but it had a little bit more serious tone as far as like a serious tone as far as like the original 90s X-Men, but more action like towards the X-Men Evolution.
I mean, what
cartoon.
about like Batman the Animated Series?
Well, yeah, but I'm
I
talking
mean, that was a kid show, but that had some serious stuff happening.
yeah, but I'm talking about Marvel.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to, I'd like to see them do more of this kind of stuff along the lines.
yeah, that'd be nice to see.
But-
But I think people are kind of marveled out, after 10 years, 12 years of
True. I mean,
Marvel animated or Marvel Cinematic Universe movies being pushed on our throats every year.
yeah, I know. I understand. Okay.
Kind of got to let the dust settle.
Yeah.
So that was actually movies, TV shows, and video games in one episode, and we just did the two of us. Yeah. What's next, Mitch? Ah, yes,
Oh, yeah. Trying to pull it up. Sorry.
the favorite adventure game. Now we all know what number one is. I'm pretty sure. Is that number one at the top?
It is. It is.
Of course it is.
But let's start at the bottom this time.
What games did not get any votes?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
I didn't play that one.
The Last of Us.
I'm really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I played. I really liked it, but it was not my number one. Fallout New Vegas,
Never played it.
God of War for PS4, and Destiny 1.
I did play Destiny 1.
I did too.
Destiny 1 was a major letdown, though.
Yes, it was.
So we might as well, I guess, let's work up our way from the votes from the bottom to the top here. So I see Red Dead Redemption, Spider-Man for the PS4, Final Fantasy VII, and
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. I got one vote. Sorry, Hayden. Mister, I thought that was the best game of all time, and everybody's going to vote for it.
But Red Dead Redemption.
That was a fun game.
This is the first one.
I like that one more than I like the second.
I agree.
I'll say it.
I had a lot of fun just because granted it's kind of like the open world esque game where you can go around and do anything. It had missions. It had you set to do a certain path.
It was GTA in the Old West.
Yeah, but you could go and do whatever you needed to do, whatever
you
you
could do
wanted
whatever,
to do.
You could do whatever the hell you wanted to do.
But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I want to say I didn't play the second one all the way through the story. This one I did, and I really enjoyed it. And then I played the Red Dead Redemption Undead version also.
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I haven't played that in years. Oh my god.
But it was a good game.
Spider-Man for the PS4. I have not played it because it's on PS4. I have heard a lot of great things about it though. I heard it's a really, really good game.
I played it. I didn't get all the way through it, but it gets you distracted with a lot of side quests. You don't have to do them, but they're fun to do, so I get distracted. And the visually, it was an amazing game, and it was fun to, I guess, the way you could play as Spider-Man. I mean, doing the acrobats and flipping through the air and going as fast as you can through the city, and it had a lot more of the kind of a new dynamic where if you don't stop the little crimes on certain streets, gangs will start to take over parts of that city.
So basically, if you don't do side quests, there's actual consequences in the game.
Right. Whatever gang of that area would start to build its way back up.
Okay.
As long as you did a couple of stuff to stop them every now and then, it would keep it even. But if you completely ignored it, they would just build up, and it would actually make that area tougher to get through because the AI would be stronger and whatnot.
Did you just completely wipe them out completely?
No.
Oh,
Or if you do, I think maybe like the neighboring gang takes over
they
and
move in.
they just kind of.
So is there any way you can ultimately wipe them all out?
I have no idea. I didn't finish it. So
Well, play and get back to us.
I don't have PS4 anymore.
Okay, well, Final Fantasy
we can ask Hartman.
7. Didn't play it.
No, I've never.
I did play one Final Fantasy.
I've never played.
I played
Final
like
Fantasy.
a little bit of it, and I was like, "This is the stupidest game ever. I don't know what's going on. I'm not playing this anymore." So moving on, Breath of the Wild, very good game. I do like it. First game I got for the Switch.
I've watched Hayden play it, and I mean, it looks neat, but it's just not my cup of tea.
It looks like it's good for about one or two full playthroughs, and then after that, you're kind of just dicking around.
I mean,
It doesn't have that open world kind of, like GTA.
Yeah.
Like you could play GTA for hours and not do a single quest or a single mission or whatever.
But still be entertained the entire time.
Well, yeah, because you're blowing up hookers and beating up cops and
but
crashing planes and the shit. It's like, yeah, of course it's fun.
Breath of the Wild, it's just, I mean, there was stuff to do, but it looked like there was a lot of just traveling in between things to do as well.
You couldn't fast travel?
I mean, maybe you could. I don't know. All I did was watch Hayden.
I haven't played enough to beat the game. I've played probably about 5 hours of solid main quest, but that was about it. Grand Theft Auto 5 needs no introduction. It's an amazing game.
Yeah, let's see. Grand Theft Auto 5, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic.
Fantastic game.
Pokemon Original Red and Blue for the Game Boy.
Amazing.
And Witcher 3 all got 2 votes.
I'm starting to play Witcher 3. It's all right. I'm getting into it.
I've got it saved. I haven't started playing it yet.
Yeah. Pokemon Red and Blue.
That's like the OG.
That's our childhood right there.
Yeah, I probably played those through at least 3 or 4 times.
Yes, those games had like endless value. I mean, how many hours do you think you put into Pokemon?
Now, I'll be honest. I did kind of cheat. I would play it through. I would trade my best ones over to my other cartridge, and then I'd start over, and I'd play until I could trade, and then I'd trade my best ones back and just go through and annihilate the entire game.
So you fixed it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic.
I've never played that.
Um,
I've watched gameplay on it, and I've seen the story stuff, and it looks
in the last
awesome,
20 years of Star Wars games, it's easily in the top 3 still, especially as far as story.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched stuff on YouTube about the story and stuff, and it looks awesome. I just never had played it.
Fantastic game. I could not praise that game enough more.
And then, like we said, Grand Theft Auto 5, yeah, be a bad guy, go through, do all this stuff.
It's basically just licensed. It's virtual reality. Do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, pretty much. And then finishing at number 2 and 3, they both had 4 votes, which is Zelda Ocarina of Time and Batman Arkham City.
I watched one of my buddies play it.
Which one?
Ocarina of Time.
I've never seen it, never played it. I don't know anything about it other than Zelda.
Arkham City, I've seen gameplay of it, a lot of the cutscene stuff.
Is that
the one where Joker's sick?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. He's sick. He ends up dying because this game came out on the 360. So
yeah, he stabbed Batman gets the cure and was going to cure him, and Joker stabs him in the shoulder. He just drops it because he's like, "Oh God, you stabbed me!" And he's just like, "I would have saved you." And Joker's like, "That's actually kind of funny." And then,
yeah,
that's Mark Hamill does the voice for the Joker in that, doesn't he?
Yes.
In all those Arkham games.
Not all of them. Well, I guess. Well, I don't want to spoil stuff for the other games, but not all of them.
Okay.
And I think Kevin Conroy did it for Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and then after that,
he is the voice of Batman.
But
he always will be.
If you played Arkham Asylum, that's basically you're trapped on the island of the asylum. In this one, basically they turn maybe 10 to 15. Well, I say 10 to 12 miles of the city into just one big quarantined off, like big walls, locked down prison.
Why do people still live in Gotham?
Good question. But, I mean, in this one, that's what they do. You have about 10 to 12 miles of city that Batman could travel through.
Mm-hmm.
All the villains have set up their own little
bases and
pretty
nonsense,
much.
and you got to take them all down and fight your way to the Joker, the ultimate Batman villain.
He's in it, and he's a big part of the game, but he's not the main villain of this game.
Who's a Ra's al Ghul?
Between him and Hugo Strange.
Huh.
Which Hugo Strange is like he's supposed to be the therapist at Arkham Asylum, but
Is he the Scarecrow?
No, that's Jonathan Crane.
Yeah, well, I was close.
But it's a good
Same
game.
amount of syllables.
And I guess you have anything else about Ocarina of Time?
It was a game. Came out. People played it.
Evidently, a lot of people, or at least several people, liked it on our list here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
which one did? Hayden voted for this one.
Yeah, Hayden voted for this. Mahalik, Chiafalo, Choi, all voted for Ocarina of Time, which, like I said, I've never played. I voted for Arkham City along with Ford, Courtney, and Nick.
Mm-hmm. And then that leaves number 1, which I know I voted for.
Number 1 with 8 votes, which is
The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim.
You got Tom. Then we had another Nick, Ryan, Deborah, Jordan, Joe, Chris, and Cody all voted for.
It's the best one on there. As far as an adventure game goes, you're not going to find anything else better.
I mean, it is a lot of fun. There was so much to do that I never finished it.
It's a game that you can keep playing it for years because it's been out. We're coming up on it came out in 2011.
Yeah.
So this will be 9 years. This November, December, it's been out.
Well,
I own this on 4 different.
I was going to say, one of our early podcasts, you reviewed it for Switch because it had just come out for Switch at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I owned it on 360 when it came out. I had the remastered edition for Xbox One, which was upscaled to almost 4K. I had it for PS4 when I had PS4, and then I got it for the Switch when it came out on Switch.
Okay.
Hours upon hours upon hours upon days, months, years of endless replay value. You can play through that game multiple times and never do the same things twice.
Oh.
It just seems like there's just that much stuff. I mean, there's a bunch of quests that, you'll run through to do just because you're going to get certain loots or doing all the Daedric quests or the main stuff or little factions I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Every time you do it, there's always options how you can do it and how you can level up your character, what you're going to do, what you're going to work on, going from, I'm going to do one-handed attacks and shield to, I'm going to do light armor and sneak and archery.
Okay.
Or you want to blow stuff up and be a mage, whatever you want to do. Skyrim has it all. The only thing it doesn't have is lightsabers. If it had that, it'd be perfect.
I mean, I'll be honest, as far as adventure games go, I mean, it does sound like it would probably be the most adventure-esque.
It is the most adventure-esque.
Because, I mean, you can literally go and do all these side quests and adventures that you want.
You can do the main quest. What I used to do, if I was I'm going to hold off on the main quest. I'm going to try to level up a little bit. I would just walk out of whatever town I was in and just start walking. Because eventually you're going to run into something. Someone's going to say something to you and start a quest. You're going to find something in the road. You're going to see a dead body and a thief running away. It's and then off you go. Then 4 hours later, 6 dungeons later, and you've killed 4 dragons. You're leveled up 10 levels already. You got all kinds of cool stuff. And it's what was I even doing to begin with? I don't remember.
And to me, I mean, adventure games are probably my favorite thing to do outside of playing multiplayer, first-person shooters.
Us playing Warzone.
I only play, the first-person shooters if I have other people online. If it's just me by myself online, I would rather play an adventure game like one of these.
Yeah.
Just because I like playing multiplayer games with other people. If I'm not playing with a group of people I know, I'd rather play something along the lines of this.
One thing I think that puts Elder Scrolls up on The Witcher. I mean, The Witcher it's very, very good. It's it's mature stuff. So is Elder Scrolls. It's rated M. There's themes and stuff. Witcher is more I guess it's the more Game of Thrones-ish of the two. You know what I mean? But with Skyrim's almost.
Witcher has that more set story that you have to follow, where Skyrim kind of gives you an option on what story you want.
Here's a story that's happening right now. And now you get to decide what else is going to happen because it's all on you now.
Yeah.
And the lore for both games is impressive. I mean, you'll be looting something in Skyrim in a dungeon that you just rolled across, pick up a book, and now you're reading, somebody took time to write this stuff out and think all this stuff out and, articulate everything. So both games, I mean, they're both a lot of fun, but I'd say Elder Scrolls is more fun to play for me, at least.
Go ahead.
Where are you going?
I'll be back.
You have to go to the bathroom? I do. Well, welcome to One Man Podcast. I'm Tom. Of course, you have to go to the bathroom. That actually sort of kind of wraps it up, though, fellas and ladies. Is there something you want to see us do? Please mention it to us in person. Send us a message. Put it on the page on the podcast group. One thing we're going to try to do once I can get Mitch and Hayden to download it is Trivial Pursuit. And do a Twitch stream of that so you can see just how stupid the two of them really are, especially when they're forced to answer questions about the topics I know about because I'm a purveyor of useless information, and they are not. Now, it wouldn't be a normal show if we didn't spin the wheel of punishment. No. Once it decides to load because my phone froze. Yeah. Is there an audience to clap on? Nope. So now, time for the Wheel of Punishments. Let's see who it's going to be. Holy crap, it's actually Hayden by Mitch movie, and Mitch is actually punishing him with something. It actually worked. It knew. So let me see if I can pull it up here for you guys. The Power Rangers movie 1995. Where's the trailer? Of course, it doesn't want to tell me. Movie trailer. Here we go.
This summer, our world will come under attack.
The mayor has declared a state of emergency.
I miss voiceovers.
Evil force ever known. He has armies at his command.
For those of you who don't know, the guy who plays Ivan is the same guy who plays Renee Belloc, the French archaeologist in Raiders of the Lost Ark. God, the suits in this movie look so good.
Now, the ultimate adventure begins.
1995. Such a time. So classic.
You garlic-sucking dingle brain!
Such language, Rita Repulsa.
We're the Power Rangers.
Where's my autograph book?
More action.
Yeah, you guys get it.
Adventure.
But anywho. So, yes, Hayden, you now have to watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the 1995 classic that me and Mitch loved and many, many millions of people enjoyed except you. So that actually does it for Mitch, since I'll be ending it, since he has not come back from the bathroom. So he might be stuck on the toilet. We don't know, but we'll get back to you. If you see him in episode 31, you know he made it. Hayden should hopefully be back and have double punishment reviews for you. We'll be back on Twitch hopefully sometime this week once we can get our schedules lined back up and all play at the same time. And our internets are stable enough to actually stream at the same time while playing and not making it brutally difficult to try to do both with dropping frame rates and et ceteras. This episode will drop Monday. This is being recorded Friday. It is September 11th. And as always, never forget, as most people who probably listen to this were alive at that time and remember that event. I know I did. I lived in New York at that time on a semi-somber note. But since I'm stalling for time, Mitch isn't back. Waiting. I'm trying to get him to do like a Kramer run in and be like, all right, I'm back. And slide in and hopefully trip. What we got here? I see a door opening. Who's it? There he is. He's back. Come on back down.
Yeah, the price is right.
All right. And that does it for us. I hope you enjoyed episode 30. Goodbye.